Welcome to the season of autumn and fall, one of my favorite seasons to scrapbook. I want to go over the details of my next kit of the month, which is going to be using the lovely Florals Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. Now, I can't show you any of these papers because I've used them all and they are just beautiful, but I'm actually elevating the artwork by including this great kit, which is the Harvest Home Garland kit and the leaves. I'm going to go over those details in a minute. But this is just gorgeous and you're really going to enjoy it. So make sure you check out the shopping list because I'm going to show you some of the products that I'm using, but the list will contain all of it. But before I go through this artwork, let's just go over what comes inside the kit. You do get all of the papers, the pattern papers that you're seeing here. And there is a sticker sheet, 2 sheets of punch outs, 3 white cardstock. There's 4 sheets that are exclusive to the kit itself. And then there's also some extra cardstock, which are 2 mossy green and pretty peacock, and then 1 each of blackberry bliss, early espresso, and petal pink. And I am using all of this. Now, in addition, I will be using the lovely Florals two-tone cardstock. This one comes with 2 sheets of each of these colors. So you'll see that here. And I am definitely going to be using some very vanilla. And I am using the basic beige as a base page. So there's a lot of cardstock here and we're using most of it. I'll also be adding a sheet of each of the Autumn Toile paper. So you have this beautiful pumpkin paper and that is the reverse side. I'll be using both of that. This foxy paper and this gorgeous stripe. I also am using this really pretty brown scenery paper as well as the early espresso background. And on this one, I'm using this brown vine. I did not get to use this green, but I'll have the option where you can just buy a sheet or 2 of each, or you can buy the full pack in your shopping cart as well. Oh yes, don't forget. Oh, where is it? Where is that? Oh, this paper. This is our earthen metallic paper. It's gorgeous. I loved working with it. You get 3 sheets for $7.50. This is a must-have in any paper crafter's arsenal. So let's talk a little bit about these leaves. Now, I know it's a Garland kit, but when was the last time you purchased something that was completely punched out? What I'm saying here is actually there's over 200 leaves. You're going to love these leaves, and I'm showing you all different ways on how I've used them and distressed them. Now, there will be an option for those of you who just want to get half a pack of the leaves. There's 8 leaves per sheet in all of these colors, which are just gorgeous. So you can see they have a little bit of an etched look to them, and I'm using so many of them. But if you only want half a pack, I'll have that on my shopping list. Otherwise, you can buy the full kit, which also comes with a grapevine and some acorns. Now, when it comes to the gold foil, you're actually, in your half pack, would get 2 of this. There's this 1 sheet here. So basically, if you're buying a full pack, you're getting twice as much as what I'm showing you. There's over 200 leaves in just, there's over 100 leaves, like 120 leaves in half the pack. So it's really lovely to have these, and I'm using them on all the pages. When it comes to stamping and die cutting, these are the 2 stamp sets that I've decided to coordinate together. We have the Amber Autumn, which is just stunning with all of these stamps. Now, this is a cling stamp, and I am using this beautiful die cut. You're going to see this used, and I'll be creating a little video on how to use this to emboss with it as well. And then this is the other side of the die cuts, which does the pumpkins and the leaves and some wonderful sayings, as well as a leaf and some wheat, I'll say. So I am using this, and I'm actually using coloring pencils. I'm not using markers, but that's your choice. I also love the beautiful pumpkins. Now, this is a clear stamp, and I am using all of these beautiful pieces as well as the die cuts you see here. So they cut the pumpkins, the stems. You can stamp the stems, you could die cut the stems and have a little design to them. Beautiful vines and pieces that all work so well together. So now you can see how great this looks. Oh, it's so pretty. But if you have something in your stash you want to use, that's your option. I'll be using the streaked dots. They're brown, and what I love about them is brown is never a color that I see a lot of when it comes to embellishments. And around for autumn season, as well as you can use these for outdoors, masculine. That's what I like about it, so I'm really happy with that. I'm also going to be using this irregular weave ribbon. I'm using it on every single layout. I really love it. It's so pretty. But I want to let you know that some of these items, the dots, the weave, where else? Oh, the earthen. Let me just pull it out so you can see. A lot of these details right here. This earthen paper, this die cut, and the tree. This is all a part of the Autumn Toile collection. So that's optional for you, where you're getting more of the Autumn Toile paper, 3 sheets, the ribbon, the dots, these 2 sets of stamps and die cuts. I will be using this on another fall kit next month. I'm also going to be bringing back the everyday arches, as well as just on one layout using the party alphabet dies for the word fall. And I'll show you that I'll point that out when we get started. Here are pages 1 and 2, and I am loving what I've done here. Now you can see I'm using the base. This is one of the exclusive pattern papers that comes in the lovely floral scrapbooking kit. And I'm using both sheets as the base and some of the punch out. But you can see that beautiful metallic paper here using that vine. And that was in this set, this die cut. And I want to point it out to you because you'll see it, right? Isn't that beautiful? So I'm using one and I'm cutting it to use it on all of it. So I really like using it that way. But the gold foil leaves are out of that Harvest Home Garden Garland kit. And now you can see how I've used that ribbon. And then these beautiful leaves here are also the punch outs from that Garland kit as well. Now I'm using some of the excess leftover from here to do my die cuts in the gold. So I didn't even have to add any gold foil paper. And I just love the way this came out. I could see using black and white photos on here from any season, any occasion. It's just so pretty. And it could be fall or it could be anything you want. As you can see, I don't have a big title on here. That's optional for you, but I love happy little moments. Yes, could it be a baby page? Absolutely. Here are pages 3 and 4, and I'm really enjoying the color tones here, where we have the petal pink, we have the timid tiger, the pretty peacock papers, and now you can see how I brought out some of the leaves in the blue tone that came in that Garland kit, and some of the soft orange tones as well, and then just sponging them a little bit, adding some color with pretty peacock or your Cajun craze or any of your blues and teal colors and oranges that you have. I added some clear bling, which is optional, but I know many of you have clear bling. And then I've also popped up some of the punch out flowers that are in here, used the Happy Days title. So this could be anything at all. Yes, you could do this for pumpkin picking if you wanted to, because there's that much of that beautiful autumn color of orange. But Life is Lovely is a nice title, and I used the little perfect here. And you can see how I've added all these leaves in and around the layout to pull in that fall theme. I really love the way this came out as well. Using both the pretty peacock paper as well as the petal pink cardstock. Isn't that pretty? Look at the next set of pages. This is layout 3, and I really love the colors here. Now you can see I've actually added this little strip here is the only one from the Autumn Toile, but everything else is in the lovely florals. And now you can see how I've used the arch dies on that earthen metallic paper. And one of the punch outs, I stamped Autumn Wishes which is out of this set right here, Amber Autumn. And then you can see I have my leaves, which are sponged and basically has a couple of folds in them, which adds a nice detail. That ribbon again, and those pumpkins and those acorns are all colored in with coloring pencils. And I'm using some of the metallic paper and the die cuts for these leaves and the wheat as well on here. So I just love this one. So, so pretty. But there's plenty of room along the bottom. If you wanted to create a bigger title, or if you'd rather do your journaling, you have that option. So here's the other side, and it's just so pretty. Slivers of that earthen metallic are being used. They're 1/8 of an inch, and I really love this cluster right here. There's also a little bit of that punch out rectangle paper down here, and more leaves in the different colors that are all lightly sponged. And now you can see the beautiful pumpkins right here are also stamped, two-tone stamping as well, or two-step stamping, and you can see them in the pretty colors here. Watercolor, I'm using colored pencils to color in these leaves and acorns, and I love the vines, which are also out of this set right here, which is the die cut. There's a stamp as well as a die cut. These pages are gorgeous, and now you can see that I did use some of those brown streaked dots as well, and I really, this is one of my favorite set of pages. Very clean, simple. The only thing sponged here are the leaves, and I love that. Oh my gosh, look at layout 4. Is this not stunning? Oh my goodness, I used that autumn toile paper, and I really pulled in that burnt orange and the browns here as well. And here's where I used that party alphabet for fall on the earthen metallic paper. I love the way this came out. So pretty. And here there'll be a technique that I'll be sharing on how to do the leaves to get this gorgeous look, which is really distressed and crumpled and sponged. There's more to it than that, so you'll have to look for that video. Once again, I'm using those gorgeous pumpkins, but I'm also sponging the edges, which gives it a little more depth. Here you can see my stems are all done in paper and those gorgeous vines. I love the colors here. We have it all coming together. Now, it's really hard to share this and to show you, but I actually stamped the acorn and leaf stamp in a very soft color on the basic beige. Just adds a little bit of detail on the top and bottom, and it's really soft. So you could use a basic beige or your mink or linen ink pad and play around to see the depth of ink that you want on your paper. I just love that. Now, these all happen to be sponged, right? All the edges are sponged, so that's where we're getting that distressed look and that extra depth of color. This pattern right here is from the lovely Florals, but everything else is from the Autumn Toile. And I just love the way these leaves look, and I have to show you this. You'll want to learn how I took that gold leaf and I kind of made it into like a soft burnt copper. It is so cool. What a great technique. Now this is for your flip flap, a 3x3 flip flap that I would flip up so you can have an opportunity to add another photo, or you can use it as a journaling piece. And loving those pumpkins again. Beautiful pumpkins. And more of that ribbon being shown here in the vines. I mean, this is a bow, but everything else is pretty much just tabbed that way. And it's just screaming fall. What a beautiful layout. Love that I tore this a little bit, and I used the torn piece, reversed it over to this side, and just used it down here. I'm really utilizing lots of the paper here, but the colors and the patterns are just gorgeous. Here is layout 5. Now, what I love about this one is that there is nothing sponged at all. It's a really clean, simple look. So I wanted to show you that's always an option. If you're not into all the details that I do, you have the option to keep it really simple and clean. Loving the Timid Tiger paper here, that pattern paper. All of this pattern paper is from Lovely Florals except for the stripe, which is Autumn Toile. I did a little bit of double matting on a couple of the photos here. You can see gorgeous leaves, and what you really want to learn will be how to take this and not cut it, but to make it into an impressed or embossed paper. So once again, you can see I'm using those everyday arches, which we've used before. And we're incorporating, once again, more leaves, stamps, which are color penciled in, more die cuts, the brown dots, the metallic paper. So I'm really having fun playing around with all of it. And Very Vanilla is being used here. I'm not sure how many sheets you might need, 4 to 6 sheets of Very Vanilla that I'll be using with this kit. I just love the softer tone. White was too stark for my own designing taste. But we have more going on down here, and just using the little acorns, you can see here, a little bit of the ribbon. Instead of the full leaf, you can pick and choose, which I love that you have that option instead of using the whole piece as one. Isn't that pretty? These leaves are gorgeous. I'm telling you, it's such a great deal. We're talking pennies per leaf. If you buy the full kit, or if you just want half of the leaf pack from me, really, these will last you a long time, and you can use them for home decor, card making, anything else, putting them on a picture frame, whatever you like, and you'll have plenty of leaves to work with. But I just love the way this came out, and it is super clean and simple, and it has all the fall colors, but in a softer, brighter palette than when we're adding all the distressed details. But once again, I'm going to point that out. This is such a cool look without cutting your paper. You're going to want to learn how to use that to do that technique. Here is layout 6. This is the last layout out of my collection, and I'm loving these details as well. So let me point them out to you. Using that beautiful pumpkin set, that vine that I am stamping and distressing everything you see here, and this is Very Vanilla bases, right? So you can see that I've done my stamping and sponging, and I love the way that came out. And then you're going to see I'm using the toile paper here, but the orange is from the lovely Florals. I'm really loving that pattern. It's just such a great tone on tone. And now you can see how I used it underneath this die cut. So right here is that beautiful die cut, and that pattern is under there. And I sponged it a little bit with my burnt orange Cajun Craze, or you can use paprika, whatever color you have that's more of a darker orange on here, just to add a little bit of depth to that orange and change it out from being so bright. Everything that you're seeing too is sponged here. Once again, I took the ink and I added some color to my gold leaves to bronze them out a little bit. I didn't want that real gold popping out. I wanted it to go along more with this earthen color and bronzing it, and I really love that look. You're also going to note I actually stamped some of the leaves, showing them to you here, with another stamp set. Now, feel free to check your stash to use whatever you have. Any kind of background stamp will work, but I did use the Elements of Text. You can use this one or this one. It's a cling stamp, okay? And I just stamped it in the coordinating color. So you can use your Cajun Craze as well on here and here, and just sponging them in. So I'm definitely gonna do a video showing you how I did some of these leaves. I love that arch. And I had Happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to do a Thanksgiving set stamp. But for those of you who get this, Autumn Wishes will fit right in here. Or Blessed to Have You in My Life would also fit in here if you want to do something like that. So feel free to use this area for your stamp of choice. You'll note that the pumpkins now are a different color. We're using pecan pie as well to do my pumpkin in two-tone and a little bit of the orange as well. And then you're going to see my vines are not green. They're done in early espresso. I die cut my pumpkin stems, which I really liked, and I'm just loving how this all came out together. And using my papers this way with a nice array of options for your photos. I love that I always have photos that are vertical and horizontal on this one. And here you can see I did another one of those metallic die cuts. My beautiful leaves and pumpkins really add to the festivity of the season, Thanksgiving, gourds, acorns, whatever you'd like. and just having them here. And just because everything is distressed with that soft brown pecan pie, it makes a difference in early espresso here, bringing in Thanksgiving of being it more of a brown color family with the soft orange or burnt orange on these pages. So now you can see how I've used all the leaves, all the stamps, the pumpkins, the die cuts, and how much fun I had with all of these beautiful pages to create the looks that you see here and not being basically stuck on using the same thing over and over again, but giving you so many great options and ideas on how you can really elevate using your stamps, your dies, your distressing, these gorgeous punch-out leaves, keeping them clean, adding texture to them, sponging them, stamping them, crumpling them, maybe even changing it to a metallic color, which is so cool. And then you have some of the brighter parts of this particular lovely florals kit that you can use as well and change it out. So I hope you loved it all and you want to stay tuned for my future videos, which have to do with these gorgeous leaves and how to get this embossed. Definitely go to lynncomo.com, which you can see right here for the shopping list. Make your purchase so you get all of the details and can create these beautiful pages.